Welcome to my channel. So in last video we have covered how to write a very basic C program, and also have been covered some drawing patterns using C code. Yes, I think you might have viewed that. If not, please go through that particular logic and come back to this particular part. So today we'll be covering an important concept called variables. Okay. So here is a variables is very important. So in kitchen, you might have seen some container, right? What does a container will do? Okay. So in kitchen, what the container will do? The container will store some groceries for you, so that you can just get that groceries and reuse it for your appliances, whatever you do, like the cooking, everything. Okay. The same concept here we have variables. Variables is a container where you can store a data values. Okay, so it is like we have memory. Okay, so whenever you just declare a variables, or whenever you need some task to be performed by your coding, okay, you have to give some input, and the input has to get processed, and output has to be like you have to get the output for that. After processing your input, you'll get the output. So but whenever you do this kind of operations, we will be performing with some numbers. Okay, say some 5 plus 3, something like that. Okay, so by using some numbers we perform the operations or the instructions, or some by using characters or a string. Okay, so these are the important data types we work with. So what are the important data types? The first is int. So int is nothing but to store or to work with integers. Okay, where you will be working with the whole numbers like 1, 2, 3, something like that. The other thing is float. Float is the other data type. So here the float is nothing but it is to store the floating point numbers. Okay, like 3.83, something like that. Wherever you work with a point, okay, those are the float. And then we will be having character, that is char, char. You should not write character, you should write only char. Char is nothing but a single alphabet. Okay, is called character, char. And when you are working with int to store and numbers, okay, it requires a memory space for storing a numbers is 4 bytes. Okay, 4 bytes is nothing but each byte, a single byte takes up 8 bits. So total 32 bits of memory will be allocated in your CPU for a integer variable. Okay, when your variable is nothing but it's a container. If my container is an int, then this container takes up only the integer values. Okay, if my container, I define this container as an int, then it takes only integers like 1, 2, 3, something like that. It does not take a, okay, and it does not work with point, okay, the floating numbers. Okay, so now next is nothing but float. If I declare the container as float, okay, if my container I declare as float, the memory occupied or memory used for this kind of container is 8 bytes. 8 bytes of memory. Okay, 8 bytes is nothing but each byte is 8 bit. Okay, so you have to multiply that with 8. Okay, next is character, char. This takes up the memory size of 1 byte, because only one alphabet, right? So it is only 1 byte, which is nothing but 8 bits. Okay, so when you declare the container as character, so this container takes up only a or b, only one single alphabet is called a character. It takes up only 1 byte of memory, which is nothing but 8 bits. Okay, so here now we understood what is a variable. Okay, a variable is nothing but it is a container for storing values like numbers or characters, and like regarding a data type, we'll be having a numbers of data types is nothing but int, float, character, and also will be having one more thing is called double. Okay, it is also of 8 bytes. Totally 4 important data types will be working with. So the variable can be either integer, or it can be float, or it can be character, or it can be double. Based upon this characteristics, I can load the values into the container. Okay. So now let's see the declaration, like how to use these variables. Okay, what is the syntax of using this variables? So starting, whenever you declare or you write up the variables or you use the variables, so we have to use a syntax. We'll be having a type is nothing but I have to give data type, whether it is an integer or character or float or double. Okay, if my container is int, I have to give int. Okay, then you have to give the variable name. Okay, the variable name is user defined, you can give any name for that. Okay, variable name, and then this can be initialized. Okay, so this can be initialized by giving equal to value, whatever value you want to assign for that particular variable, you can give it. Okay, so this can be done. I tell you how to declare and how to give the syntax of variable. So here we'll be working with including the header files, hash include stdio.h, and we'll use a main function. Okay, now I declare a variable. What is the syntax of declaring variable? We have to give type. I'll just give type is int a. Okay, and then I'm going to give the variable name. Variable name can be anything. Okay, I'll be giving a variable name a. But some rules are there. Whenever you declare a variable name, we should not, like for example, if I have employee number, okay, or employee name, I should not give like this, employee space name. You should not give this. If you're giving this, just understand, the compiler understands that this is one variable and this is other variable. Always two variables has to be separated by comma. Okay, if I want to declare n number of variables with the same type, I can just write that all the variables by giving comma. Okay, this is variable 1 and this is variable 2 followed by up to, I can just give comma, and then I can just give up to variable n. Okay, but when you are giving a employee name like this, by giving a space without giving a comma, I'll be getting an error. Okay, if I need this to be, like I want this employee name to be a variable name, then I can just give an underscore. Okay, so if I'm giving like this, then the compiler accepts. Okay, whenever you write a variable name, make sure that you are writing as a single word, or if you are going to have two words for that particular variable name, you should not give a space between the words. You have to give either underscore or you have to write without a space. Okay, that is a very important thing, you have to note it. Okay, I'll just have a variable name as a now. Okay, I just have it as a. Okay, and I'll just give the value. This is called a declaration. If you're giving like this, I'm going to give the type and a variable name now. This is nothing but variable declaration. Variable declaration. Okay, and I can give value over here also. Okay, like this also I can give, which is nothing but variable declaration and initialization of a value. Variable declaration and initialization of a variable. I'm going to initialize a variable with a value 5. Okay, either this thing is right or else I can declare first. Okay, and later on I can just initialize the value here. Okay, the next thing I can just give a is equal to 5. Okay, like this also I can give. Okay, both thing are right only. Okay, as of now I'll just give it here only. I'll just declare and initialize the value for the variable. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, I need this value to print on the screen. So always to print output on the screen, I have to use printf. So I already told that within double quotes whatever you write that will get printed on the output screen. Okay, if I write a, okay, I'll be like printing only a over here. Okay, what happens if you do this? Int a is equal to 5 means that, and a variable container which is nothing but a, the variable name is a, my container name is a, it is declare in type of int. Okay, this container, this a container takes only the value as integers. Now I have given 5, so here 5 is loaded in the variable a. Now I want to print the value 5 which is in the variable a. Okay, so here the user does not know what is the value in the a. Okay, so the programmer writes, I need the value which is stored in a. Okay, so I should not blindly give a over here, I have to give the value in a is, okay, so whatever you write this will be printed on the output screen. Okay, so I need this 5 to be displayed over here. In this case I'll use format specifier. Format specifier is percentage %d, which means that whenever you store the value, okay, the value as an integer means you have to give percentage %d. If it is float you have to give percentage %f. If it is character should give percentage %c. Okay, now your container is integer, so I have to give percentage %d, and you have to close the double quote and then you have to write comma. Okay, this percentage %d has to replaced by the value stored in the variable called a. So just give a. Now exactly what happens now, this percentage %d, it just go to the, okay, the variable a, because I have told that a has to replace here. Okay, so just this percentage is nothing but format specifier. This opens the a, okay, container, opens a container of a and it takes the value inside the container and it replaces this space. Okay, so now we know that this exactly look like printf. You can just have like this. It's exactly like this. Okay, so this percentage %d opens the container of a and takes the value and replace that over here, and we know that whatever it is inside this double quotes it will be printed. Okay, you can ask them, okay, we can just directly print 5 here, then why are you using percentage %d? Because I am going to take up the value from the variable a and I want to print it. Okay, I don't know what is the value inside the a. Okay, that is a concept. That's why we are giving percentage %d. Percentage %d is a format specifier to open the container and take the value from that and just replace the value over here during the processing of your input. Okay, when you are getting output you will be getting this value of a over here. Okay, so exactly we will be getting this line. Okay, you can see this output now. Okay, the value in a, see, the value in a is 5. Whatever I told before, exactly the same line we got. Okay, so this is how you have to declare a variable and store the value inside the variable, and you have to take up the value from the variable and you have to print it. Okay, so the format specifier is very important. Make sure that you are writing within the double quotes, and after that you have to give the variable name where it has to go and open the container. This percentage %d, after seeing this, it just go to the variable name, okay, and just open the container, it takes up the value. Okay, if you are using two variables, if you are just using two variables a and b, for example, if I just give b is equal to 6 And if I'm just having two variables and I want to open both the variables now, if I'm giving like this, okay, I have two variables but I have only one format specifier, which is not accepted. Okay, this format specifier is for A and I have to give the other format specifier for B. Okay, make sure that how many variables you are using, that many specifiers are there. Okay, so now you can check it. So I have given A and B. So A value, this will be percentage D, will just go here. The first order will be like first percentage D will be replaced by the first container. Second thing will be replaced by the second container. You can see here the value of A is 5 and B is 6. Whatever you have the values in B and A will be displayed here. Okay, suppose if I have changed the order, I'll just give B and A here. You can see here I'm just giving the change of the order, okay, and see the output now. See, the value of A is 6, but the value of A is 5 only, right? But I got value of 6 because I have given B here. So this first percentage D, it goes to B and open the container B and takes up the value and just replacing here now. Okay, so which is completely wrong. So make sure that you are giving the order in proper way so that you will be getting the output value in a proper way. Okay, so that is very important. Okay, I'll just give again A and B so that you will get a proper order of values. Okay, so this is very important to be noted. So format specifier is very important for printf to get the container, open the container, takes up the value. Okay, so that's it for today, and if you have any doubt you can ping me in the comments. Okay, thank you, happy learning.